Just going to talk to you about the mirror on the Canon 5D Mark I Classic camera. I have plenty of emails about this, so I thought I'd just make a short video. Now, the Canon 5D Classic was known for this problem when you had a 0 or a 1 at the beginning of your serial number. It was the early cameras, and Canon did do a mirror fix, so both of the Canon bodies I had, actually the mirrors fell off both of them, one at a wedding and the other at a model shoot. I remember it well. So it's not great. Obviously it scares you because you're looking through the viewfinder and suddenly it just goes black and you hear this clatter and the mirror falls out. Now if that's just happened to you, don't panic. Whatever you do, don't drop the mirror. When you take your lens off, try and just save that mirror. You don't want that on the floor. So wait till you get home is my advice, and then just take the mirror out carefully. Now you can't send them back to Canon anymore. It was a long time ago, and obviously they don't fix them for free. And you'll find fixation or other companies around the world. You might find small camera repair centres that will still do it, but they don't really like touching it because the fix is actually just to glue it back on, to be honest with you. But I just want to show you what Canon did so that when you're searching for your Canon 5D Classic, you can look at this and you can, people don't know this little bit. So in the standard mirror, you've got these large pieces down either side, and you'll find that in the early bodies that weren't fixed, so they were probably used by amateur semi-professional photographers who didn't really actuate the shutter that many times, but as weddings we just constantly obviously using the cameras, so the mirrors tended to fall off our cameras. So they put this little strip in, so either side you've got this very slim strip going up either side, and that's the reinforcement that Canon put in. So as soon as you find one online, whether it's on eBay, wherever it is, you want to email them and say, can you send me a picture of the mirror please? And when it comes through, you'll know this, come back to this video and look for this slim strip, and if you've got that slim strip, you know that your mirror has been fixed. Now if you don't see that strip there, the next thing to look at is the serial number. Now what I found with the later serial numbers is they didn't have this strip, which can get confusing because, and if there's anybody who knows the answer to this, please comment below, and if you've repaired these cameras, I'd love to you just comment below. So suddenly on the later cameras you don't see this strip. Now what I'm assuming is that they actually improved the glue. That's all that I can see that could have happened. There's literally 4 splodges of glue behind this mirror and fixed the mirror to the piece of plastic here. So I think on the later bodies they just improved, they fixed the problem with the glue, and so they no longer needed the reinforcement strip. And then you'll see some mirrors that are for sale and they won't have the reinforcement strip on. So it can get quite confusing, but the rule I go by is quite simple. If it's an early body with a 0 or a 1, I tend to not buy it unless they've got these reinforcement strips in. If they have got the reinforcement strips in, the 0 and 1 bodies, 0 at the start, 1 at the start, are fine. On those early bodies, by the way, they didn't have such a good rear screen, so they did change the screen on the later bodies, so that's again something to look at. And another little fault I found was with the hot shoe. So on some cameras you get a hot shoe that can actually move slightly. So it's just like cars really. They bring a car out, and by the time they finish the run of cars 2 years later, whatever, they've perfected all these little tiny bits and pieces, and it's the same with cameras. And it's with all of the cameras. You might not even realize this is happening. There's big components inside the cameras, so they do the best they can. The R&D is amazing with Canon, and they obviously just got this one slightly wrong and they were using the wrong glue. So I hope this helps. If you're trying to source your own 5D and you having trouble or you don't want all the hassle, I am actually offering a service now where I will source the cameras for people. Only come over to this link. This page is worth visiting anyway, to be honest with you, richardbarleyphotography.com, Canon 5D Classic Mk1.html, because it's got a lot of information. I'm going to build the information over the next few years and just use it as a resource page that you can all use. But you can come over to that page, and on there is a lot of information, but also at the bottom of the page is an inquiry form. If you would like me to source a camera for you, a 5D Classic can take from a week to a month. I have to order a few different cameras, and I actually get the cameras over here and I test them against my own camera, and I look at the mirrors, serial numbers, clean them up, and obviously it's a service, so please don't fill this form in if you think it's going to be a bargain full frame camera because it's not. What we're looking at here is, I'm interested in people who love this camera and they like the look of the file that comes out of the camera, which is unique, and they're obviously looking for a body that they want to last for a very long time. So you know, come on over, I can send you a quote for a body. I'm mainly trying to source the later serial number bodies now, where the problems had been ironed out. But yeah, come and fill the form in. Read everything else on this page. There's camera and lens news. You can join the email list. But I hope that helps. I'm going to try and do more videos about the 5D Classics. I'm getting so many emails about it now. I suppose it's because the channel is, you know, there's a lot of videos about the camera and the fact it's 2020 and I'm still using it. But you know, it's a great camera. So step by step, if it's got a 0 and 1 at the beginning, look for the strip. Let's zoom in so you can see it. Camera Shop sent me this photo. I didn't do it, but thanks for sending it me. That strip there, that tiny little strip, is what you're looking for. If that's not there, this mirror can detach and it's not pretty. Believe me, you don't want that feeling again. Just as a fine little story for you, I was at a wedding. I was just by the church. The bride just walked through the gates, walking towards me with her dad, looking very nervous. Camera went up to the eye, 70 to 200 f4. I'm looking through it, clatter, and this mirror flew off inside. And I just thought, you know, it was ruined the camera. I instantly took off the lens and my mirror went bang straight on the floor. It did survive and they did refit it, but then I ran to the car, got the backup body, ran back to the church and finished the wedding. But I remember it vividly and it scared me to death. So try and get a body with these reinforcement strips, or if you can, which is very difficult because people hold on to them now, it's getting a late serial number after 3, so a 3 at the beginning. Okay, hope that helps. I'll see you again soon.